My beloved child, please do not scroll past this moment, for it is not by coincidence that you have stumbled upon this message right now. I know there are a million other places you could be and 1,000 other voices calling for your attention, but you are here because your spirit has been searching for an answer. You've been feeling a gentle stirring in your heart, a humble curiosity, and a whisper that promises peace if you would just stay present and receive these words. I need you to understand that this is your confirmation. The things you have been secretly praying about, the worries that keep you awake when the rest of the world is asleep, I have heard them all. This is not just a video. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for this very hour of your life. Revelation is coming. Peace is about to flow into your home. And hope is taking root within you in ways you did not expect. Before you go any further, pause and acknowledge this moment. If your heart is stirring, place your hand over your chest and whisper, "This is from me." Do not scroll away. Stay, listen until the end, and decide right now that you will hold on to what I am about to speak into your life. I want you to realize that the voice speaking to you now is not echoing into empty air, but reaching into the very depths of your soul. I am inviting you into a deeper relationship, a greater assurance, and a season of abundant blessing. To turn away now, to let distraction steal this moment, is to risk missing the specific gift I have prepared uniquely for you today. There is so much noise in the world, so much bad news and fear, but what you are receiving now is life, restoration, and purpose breathing into every crack and weary corner of your spirit. I want you to know that I delight in your faith. I look at you and I am deeply moved by the resilience shining in your soul. You think you are weak, but I see a warrior who has refused to give up, even when the odds were stacked against you. I have never missed a moment of your story. I saw you when you cried in the bathroom so no one else would see. I saw you when you smiled to hide the pain. And I want to tell you today, you are seen, you are cherished, and you are deeply desired in my presence. Lay down the heavy burdens you have been carrying. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Open the secret petitions of your heart to me right now. Do not hesitate to let your prayers rise, for not a single word you utter is wasted. I catch every tear, and I record every sigh. Listen carefully as my words wrap around you like a warm blanket. I am bringing healing where there has been a deep ache. I am bringing comfort where there was restlessness. You may feel at times as though you stand alone, misunderstood by those around you, or unseen by the people who should care the most. But never forget how precious you are to me. I cradle you in the palms of my hands, guarding you, watching over your every breath and your every step. My gaze is fixed on you with compassion, always intent upon your well-being. My promise to cover you, guide you, and provide for you will never fail. When uncertainty arises, when shadows threaten to steal your peace, let the certainty of my presence be your shield. You are under my loving care, not just for a season and not just for a moment, but for all your days. I am always working for your good, even the moments when you cannot see the gentle movements of my hand. I am your counselor, standing close by your side when you face difficult decisions, guiding you toward what is truly right. Fear not, I am the source of the wisdom you seek. When strife and confusion surround you, come to my word. Let my voice be your compass. Seek me first above all else in the quiet moments of your day, and you will discover the answers that strengthen the core of your being. You are never far from hope because you are never separated from me. Each decision you face, each obstacle you encounter, is actually an opportunity for you to receive fresh strength and to journey closer toward the future I have dreamed for you. If you feel my peace beginning to touch you, don't keep it only for yourself. Think of one person who needs this same hope and make a decision in your heart to share these words with them. Send this message, speak it, or forward it so they too will remember they are not alone. My plans for you are loving, intentional, and without error. I need you to open your eyes and recognize the gentle yet powerful signs of my will being unveiled in your daily life. Every heartbeat, every sunrise, every unexpected act of kindness is another testimony of my faithfulness, a steady hand steering you in wisdom. My words are never empty. Each one I speak carries the power to reshape your reality, to heal what needs mending, and to open doors that have been locked for years. Remain alert to my voice and to the small blessings I set along your path. In trusting me, your mind will clear, your steps will find solidity, and your destiny will unfold with purpose and beauty. My word alone is strong enough to sustain you through any trial and to lift you out of despair. When the world feels too heavy, when the financial pressure mounts or the relationship feels broken, remember that I am your solace and your courage. Do not surrender when you feel the weight pressing down. You are closer than you realize to a breakthrough. You are standing on the edge of realizing your dreams. Allow me to be your encouragement and your anchor. Together, we will transform every stumbling block into a stepping stone. Trust me. Trust the plans I have designed for your fulfillment. Each moment is building you into someone strong, wise, and prepared for the blessings ahead. I do not deceive. Pause and see how my truth shines through the details of your life. You might overlook the laughter of a loved one, the warmth of the morning light, or the quiet answer to a whispered prayer. But these are my love letters to you. Let your soul rest in my faithfulness. Every promise I have made is carefully written in love. Every word that reaches your ears is laden with the supernatural power to renew, restore, and lift your heart. Guard your spirit. Be sensitive to my signals and gifts, for they arrive continually, sometimes subtly, perhaps in a provision of money at just the right time, or a sudden wave of peace when you needed it most. By trusting in me, you enter a space of clarity and confidence, able to lift your eyes and walk toward your destiny with surety. My child, my word is sufficient for every circumstance, lighting your way through every challenge, speaking hope into hopelessness. In dark valleys and on mountain peaks, my promises do not waver. They are the bridge over troubled water and the fortress in the storm. Let your faith cling to what I say, not to the shifting circumstances around you. My presence is closer than your breath, always inviting you to draw near, to rest, and to flourish. You are here not by accident, but by my purposeful calling, woven into your life at exactly this time. All events in your journey are threads in a tapestry. I have carefully designed a tapestry of goodness and meaning. Now is the hour of blessing, the harvest of favor and deep joy. Do not waver. Do not lose heart. Let your courage be a living testament, causing those around you to marvel at the love I have for you and the victories still to come. Seek me early. Come to me in sincerity and perseverance. For in the secret place of prayer, you will uncover the serenity your soul searches for. My spirit meets you in the silence before dawn, in the stillness before you speak to another. When you turn to me in raw honesty, every time you lift your voice to me, you are choosing hope over despair and hunger for truth over the noise of this world. Right now, I invite you to respond. Don't just listen in silence. Speak to me. Say out loud or write down one thing you are grateful for and one thing you need my help with. Let this be your act of faith in this moment. Mark it somewhere, on paper, on your screen, in your heart, as a sign that you are opening yourself to me. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that I clear the road ahead. Even in the midst of struggle and adversity, you will not fall, for I am walking beside you. My support is unwavering, a strong arm lifting you higher by the moment. Hold fast, strength is being poured into you now, just when you need it most. And remember, the race is not for the swift alone, but for those who persist, who return to me with their needs, their sorrows, their dreams, and their gratitude. In me, you find the strength to weather any storm and prevail against every adversity. My blessing accompanies you each day, illuminating your journey and opening doors that no one can shut. A spirit of gratitude, a heart radiant with thanksgiving and quiet joy is all I ask. As you receive my love daily, step boldly into each new beginning, knowing you are wrapped in my grace, ready to experience miracles that will overflow into every area of your life. My presence is touching your heart now, filling you with a new anointing and steadfast faith. Feel my powerful hand upholding you, bringing peace where anxiety once lived, confidence where there was doubt. I am at work within you. Even in the moments you may doubt or feel weary, my voice is gentle, yet it carries authority and compassion, drawing you into greater trust, greater rest, greater purpose. All I ask is that you open your heart, bring your needs, and allow my love to heal and transform every shadowed place within you. You are not alone. Let yourself sink deeper into this truth. Let it comfort and invigorate you as you go forth into each day. Let your life reflect the hope and purpose I pour into you with every sunrise. Do not measure yourself by your past, by your failures, or by the negativity of others. Instead, see yourself as I see you, beloved, pure, called, and set apart for wonderful things. I am not a distant observer, but an ever-present companion, actively caring for your steps, guiding you into places of blessing and opportunity. Allow each morning to become a new invitation to step further into my plans, harnessing the blessings of today with faith and humility. Refuse to cling to the empty promises of the world for validation, comfort, or identity, for I am the true source of these gifts. Those who focus only on material things and surface circumstances lose sight of what truly matters, growing pessimistic and easily discouraged. But you remain anchored in my word and in spiritual renewal. Let your eyes see beyond the immediate, trusting that the foundation I am building will sustain you regardless of what may come. You have received many lessons, beautiful truths that nourish your soul. Treasure them. Let them shape your outlook and your decisions. Refuse to be shaken by storms or swayed by fleeting worries. The blessing I give is lasting. It is peace that guards your mind, fortitude that holds your spirit, and joy that cannot be stolen. Cherish your family, your health, and your communion with me. These form the core of what it means to succeed and to live abundantly. Let each act of kindness, each gesture of respect, be a seed planted in faith, trusting that my harvest will come in full. Do not be afraid to share what you have received, to lift others up and speak encouragement where you go. Love is the mark of your faithfulness, and it will illuminate the lives you touch. Open your hands to serve, to give, to sow hope, even in the smallest acts, for these things create ripples far beyond what you can imagine. Let humility reign in your home. Let gratitude be your song, and let faith be your banner, for these are the treasures that last. My desire is for you to always remember how loved and cherished you are. Even in busyness and fatigue, do not allow your heart to stray from me. Make space in your day to listen, to commune, to receive fresh wisdom and strength. Anxiety and fear will lose their grip as you choose to rest in my embrace. Lay your worries before me, for I carry them far from you. I have never asked you to walk alone. My presence is nearer than you think, ready to lift your burdens, to renew your mind, to fill you with hope and courage for all that is to come. Let the rhythms of gratitude and trust transform your days. Before you rise, whisper words of worship and thanksgiving. Offer me your first thoughts, your simplest prayers. In doing so, you set your heart in alignment with my will and invite my protection and blessing over all that concerns you. Resist the distractions and discouragements that seek to steal this precious time away. List your needs to me. Bring your family, your work, your fears, and your hopes, for nothing is too small or too great for my care. Each member of your household is known and treasured by me. Let no one else occupy the space that belongs to my sacred connection with you. If you desire true victory and fullness, my word and my counsel must not be set aside. For when you yield to my direction, when your heart remains teachable and your spirit alert, solutions will appear where all seemed lost. Confidence will rise within you, and you will step into new seasons wrapped in assurance and equipped with all you need. Never forget that your future lies not in the hands of people or the fluctuations of circumstance, but in my sovereign love. When troubles come, let prayer be your first weapon. Pour out your heart to me again and again, for every pleading, every tear is precious to me. Even if you feel questions or confusion, keep seeking, keep believing, for revelation will come and clarity will dawn right on time. There are things unfolding in your life that you cannot yet see. Just as a seed must break open and be buried before new growth can emerge, so too are some of my promises cultivated in secret places, maturing in darkness or bursting forth in light. Be patient and courageous, for I am at work, even when you feel nothing. Every prayer you breathe, every hope you dare to hold, these stir the heavens and move me to bring answers greater than you can yet imagine. You carry a calling, a spiritual inheritance uniquely designed for you and your household. You are not insignificant. No request of yours is overlooked in silence or in tears. In joy or in desperation, I am listening. Will you come and linger in my presence? Will you lay aside distractions and receive the wisdom, the healing, the fresh purpose I desire for you today? My love is poured out for you anew. Come and experience all I have promised, and let your story reflect the wonder of my faithfulness. You've sensed me brushing close, reaching out in ways both unmistakable and so gentle. You wondered if you'd imagined it. Yet, if you dare to quiet yourself enough, you realize I am not distant at all. I see you even when you think you are hidden, lost among the noise or shadows. My heart stirs for you in moments when you feel nothing, and in moments when feeling seems to flood your every cell. The reason you are here is no accident. I have drawn you near on purpose, desiring this encounter, and longing for you to recognize what my nearness can mean for your living days. The world has told you many stories, some about me, some about yourself, and some about what is or isn't possible. But pause here, even if your heart races or your mind rebels, because the stories I speak and the love I offer will reshape your understanding more thoroughly than even your strongest doubts or truest fears. You look for comfort in places that promise relief, but often leave you emptier than before. You chase approval as if it's the air you breathe, only to find yourself suffocated by the weight of everyone else's opinions. I know the loneliness, the ache no accomplishment or distraction can mute. I know the longing you carry for meaning, for a depth that reaches beyond the surface and into the marrow of your being. All these yearnings point toward me. They are echoes of my voice, woven into your longing for belonging, for love that doesn't tire or betray. Though you have sought answers in many wells that soon ran dry, I am the fountain that never fails, the water that seeps into the deepest cracks and brings forth life again. Let your guard down now, just a fraction. You don't need to impress me. I'm not looking for you to perform or check another box. I see you just as you are, beautiful in your longing, honest in your mistakes, brave in your broken places. It delights me to watch you rise from each fall. It grieves me only when you believe you are too far gone to rise again. My delight in you is not fragile, nor is my patience exhausted by your questions, your complaints, your wanderings. Even when you feel furthest from me, I am as close as your next breath, present, attentive, completely invested in your life. There are parts of your story you wish you could erase, memories that cringe from the light, words spoken or withheld that haunt you in quiet moments. I gather even those tattered fragments to myself. I see purpose in your pain, redemption in your regret. I do not waste what burdens you. If you let me, I will weave those memories into something sacred, a testimony not of shame, but of how mercy triumphs where sorrow grew absolute. Nothing you've done frightens me away. No shadow can keep me from redeeming what you surrender. Ask yourself, why does your heart beat faster in these moments of stillness? Why do tears spring up just as you hear mention of my love? You sense that I am looking past the exterior, straight into places you might have hidden, even from yourself. I do it not to condemn, but to remind you, I created those secret places, and I still want them, no matter what has settled there. Bring your wounds, your doubts, your bitterness. Bring your anger, your little flickers of hope. I can handle everyone, and my hands are gentle enough to hold your fear until it learns to rest. You carry burdens that are not yours to bear. You try to be strong for others, to hold everything together. But what if the strength you need is not found in more striving, but in surrender? I do not call you to collapse from exhaustion, nor do I take delight in your frantic attempts to please me or others. I call you to let go, to drop the armor, and allow yourself to simply be a beloved child, fiercely cherished, seen, and heard. There's a rest that goes deeper than sleep, a peace that cannot be forged by hard work or clever plans. I invite you to taste that rest, to know a stillness that nothing in this world can replicate or steal. Do you question whether you really matter? It is easy to doubt your significance when everything around you seems so vast, when your own voice feels smothered by the volume of others. But to me, you are never just another face in the crowd. I crafted you with intention, with dreams whispered into your spirit before you ever drew breath. You are the culmination of 1,000 hopes, reflections of my creative delight. Even on days when you feel small or invisible, I see the intricate tapestry of your being. You matter not because of what you do, but because of who made you and who you are to me. Let go of the notion that you are tolerated or endured. You are, and always have been, desired. There is not a moment that slips past me, not a sigh or a silent cry I ignore. I cradle every hope, every disappointment, every stubborn prayer you dare to utter. My love is not built on your performance, and your failures cannot unravel my devotion. When you stumble, I am already reaching to steady you. When you fall, I am eager to lift and restore. When you doubt, I remind you gently, persistently of what is true, of who you truly are. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. When all disguises are stripped away, I do not promise you a life free from pain or struggle. The world is aching and broken in ways you acutely feel, and I do not dismiss or diminish your wounds. What I promise instead is my presence through it all. A steadfastness that cannot be altered by circumstance. My heart aches with yours, and when you suffer, I gather your tears as treasure. Even in seasons where the road twists sharply, where you can see no light ahead, I am working within and around you, piecing together what you cannot yet comprehend. The storms you fear are not stronger than my voice. The mountains you face are not taller than my mercy. Speak to me from where you are, unfiltered and real. I am not undone by your questions, nor surprised by your struggle. Let each honest admission be an olive branch you extend, an opening for me to move in ways you have not yet imagined. I have always been the God who listens, who responds, who comes close to the humbled soul. The sound of your voice reaching for me is music I never tire of hearing. Stay. Even when discomfort rises, even when you doubt your worthiness to continue, each moment you remain, you are drawn closer to the hope you crave and the healing you seek. Trust that in this space now, something is beginning. Something beautiful, fragile, and strong. This is a new conversation with me, your creator, the author of your story, who delights to be found by you. If something inside you is softening right now, do not be silent. Say Amen or Yes, Lord out loud, or write it where you can see it later. Let your own voice agree with what your heart is hearing. This simple response is your way of stepping into what I am offering you today. You have wondered if your burdens are too heavy to share with me, if your doubts and struggles are somehow unworthy of my attention. But listen, as I draw near to your quiet heart, there is nothing you carry that I do not see. No pain or shame that is hidden from my loving gaze. When the world's noise grows loud and the ache within seems without remedy, let me be your refuge. I am not far off or disinterested. I am nearer than your breath. I have walked with you through days you thought no one noticed, and I have collected every tear, gentle each time you questioned your worth. The reason I linger with you is not merit, but love. My love does not depend on your triumphs or failures. I am here for you because you are mine, chosen and cherished before you even understood that longing inside your soul. Sometimes you resist me out of fear. You wonder if surrender will cost you too much, if letting go means losing what little control you feel you have. Yet I whisper softly again, asking you to trust, to let me have your worries and your hopes alike. Life in your hands feels fragile, unpredictable, but in mine, everything finds its place and purpose. The storms that threaten to break you are already known to me, and I guide you through their shadows. Some pains linger longer than you desire, but not because I am absent or indifferent. Each season, joyful or hard, shapes your spirit with wisdom when you walk with me. Every moment spent seeking me draws you deeper into the peace your heart craves. You do not need to hide your confusion or exhaustion. I invite you to be honest, to sit with me in the raw mess of life. For I am the healer who finds honor in restoring what is weak and making strong what feels forgotten. Let me lift the veil of shame that sometimes clouds your days, covering you with grace as constant as sunrise. There is nothing you can bring to me that will cause me to turn away. I know the reasons behind every choice, and my forgiveness is always greater than your regret. I stretch out my hand not with condemnation, but to lift you up, to steady your steps, to remind you that your story is not finished with failure. As you choose to open your heart to me, I plant new hope in the places you thought were barren. Progress will not always look like victory to the world. Sometimes it is the courage to get up one more time, to trust me rather than fear, to choose kindness for yourself and others, even when it costs. In those unseen moments, I am working with you, transforming what you offer into fruit that lasts. Remember, you are not on this journey by accident. Even the places that seem random or the bends in your path where you felt abandoned, they were known to me, and I was weaving them into something that will display my goodness and your resilience. Letting go of resentment and bitterness will not chain you in grief. It will set you free to feel and to receive my joy as I always intended. Your weaknesses do not disqualify you from my love or my purposes. In fact, where you are most vulnerable is where my strength shines brightest, becoming the testimony that I am with you and for you. Nothing can separate you from my relentless pursuit. Pause for a moment in your heart now and embrace my presence. Even in the silence, I am pouring out comfort, guiding your thoughts toward hope instead of worry. When anxieties press in and you struggle to quiet your mind, listen for my gentle words stirring in your spirit. You are seen. You are wanted. You are safe with me. I am not a distant judge keeping score, but a father whose hands are open and whose embrace is wide. Your needs, spoken or unspoken, are precious to me. There is no limit to what you can ask of me, and nothing you share is too much for my heart to bear. Let each day start with an invitation for me to walk alongside you. For when you do, even the hardest roads become sanctuaries of peace. Do not underestimate the power of hope. Hope is not wishful thinking. It is confidence anchored in my character, certainty that beyond your current struggle lies redemption and purpose. When you find it hard to believe, borrow my faith for a while. Rest in the assurance that I am steadfast. I have seen the outcome of your days and declare that all things, yes, even this, will work together for your good. My presence is the promise that you will not be crushed by the weight of this world. I walk alongside you, offering you daily manna, a word in season, an act of kindness, a fleeting moment when light breaks through your uncertainty. Each is a signpost of my care guiding you home to me. You may hear voices, internal or external, telling you it is too late or too impossible for change. But I am not limited by the expectations or failures of people. My power is made perfect not when you are confident and strong, but precisely when you know your need and turn your eyes to me. When you are weak, uncertain, or empty, I am able to fill you with renewing strength that does not run dry. Your limitations are not enemies to defeat, but invitations to commune with me, to rely on the one whose resources never fail. You are the beloved one, not for what you do or promise to become, but for who you are, formed and known before I spoke the world into being. My voice calls you by name, setting you apart from the noise and confusion that so often cloud your way. I look at you with delight, not as a project to be fixed, but as a treasure to be loved. If you could see yourself through my eyes, shame would lose its power and hope would rise up like the dawn breaking through the longest night. So as you walk forward, know that I am the God of second chances and fresh beginnings. My mercy reaches further than your deepest regrets, and my faithfulness outlasts every shadow of your doubt. Even now, as your heart listens, I am at work, creating pathways you cannot see and miracles you have not imagined. Hold fast to courage, for I am holding fast to you. As you continue in this moment, I invite you into that inner room where I am waiting for you, where you can shed all the roles and burdens you carry. Here in the sanctuary of our communion, every word you whisper is heard and cherished, and every tear you shed is precious to me. You may feel sometimes as though your weaknesses are a barrier, that your imperfections disqualify you from my embrace. But I have seen the full stretch of your life, every hesitation, every stumble, every apology, each laughter, each victorious moment, and I love you fully, unreservedly. My delight in you is not fragile or conditional. It has no shadow of turning or calculation. Let your anxieties sigh and soften. There is no need to perform here. I know the deepest desires lodged in your heart and the wounds that lie unseen even to you. When you are wearied by the pressure to be more, to measure up to standards others have placed upon you, remember I look on you as a loving gardener beholds a cherished plant. I see not only the bloom you offer in this season, but the shoots yet to grow, the potential hidden beneath the soil, and I tend to you with understanding and patience. Your progress is not measured by speed or outward display. It is marked by every willingness to return to me, to be honest, to allow me access, even to the difficult places within. I remind you, it is not shame that I use to transform you, but my grace, my correction is never cruel. It always restores dignity and strengthens identity. Where you are tempted to shield your scars and close the doors on your past pain, I am gentle in my approach. I knock rather than force. My invitation is simple. Let me walk with you through what hurts, through what confuses, through what you cannot fix. I do not flinch from your grief or recoil from the weight you carry. Instead, I stoop to lift, to soothe, and to bandage with hands forged in compassion. There are moments when you feel hidden and invisible, your faithfulness unnoticed by the world, your acts of kindness unrewarded by those around you. But I assure you, not a single gesture of love, not a single humble surrender is lost to me. I see what is sown in secret, what you have sacrificed out of love or duty or simply hope. I am the keeper of the unseen, the witness to the small victories of courage and endurance. Where applause fades and recognition slips away, my delight in you remains constant and vibrant. Listen now as I speak to the longing buried deep inside, a longing for rest that does not disappoint, for a peace not shaken by circumstance, for a belonging that cannot be revoked. These are not dreams too high or far for you. In my kingdom, rest is not earned, but received. Peace is not fragile, but flows unbroken from my presence. Belonging is not determined by performance, but by relationship, by your willingness to say yes again to my invitation to draw near. Rest in me not because all your questions are answered or because the path is suddenly smooth, but because I am your firm foundation. When the world shouts that productivity and achievement are the measure of worth, I whisper truth. Your value is established and unchanging because you are mine. Even on the days when you feel empty, when your hands tremble and your heart aches, I remain near, holding you through both celebration and sorrow. I know sometimes you wonder if your hope is foolish, if the dreams planted in your heart were merely distractions. But lift your gaze, beloved. Nothing hoped for in me is ever wasted. Even as you wait, I am working in the dark soil of your life. My timing is not always what you imagine, but it is always kind, always wise. I do not withhold out of disdain or indifference, but because I am crafting something beautiful for you, something that will bear good fruit in its season. So as you walk through this life, remember you are not alone. I am the companion at your side, the encouragement. When you falter, when the world feels heavy, lean into my strength. When confusion clouds your mind, ask for my light to guide your steps. My wisdom is not reserved for the qualified or elite, but is given freely to all who seek it with humility. I will not leave you to wander lost. I am the shepherd who knows the terrain, who leads through valleys and across peaks, who gathers the wandering and heals the bruised. Trust me with what you cannot control. You do not need to carry the burden of your own transformation. Surrender is not defeat, but the gateway to freedom. In my arms, surrender means releasing what no longer serves you and making space for new joy, new healing, new vision. I hold the map of your journey and rejoice over every step, even those that seem small or hesitant. Every season of your life, every hour is precious to me. There is no wasted experience, no hidden pain that I cannot redeem. When you set your heart to follow me, when you keep coming back despite disappointment or confusion, you are already living in the fullness of my invitation. Let this truth settle in your soul. You are infinitely loved, completely seen, and never beyond the reach of my renewing touch. Even as you struggle and search for meaning, understand that I am never distant. I am nearer than your breath, closer than the thoughts rushing through your mind. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Let yourself rest in this nearness. Open your heart just a fraction more, and you will sense my presence. Gentle, persistent, unwavering. Where you falter, remember it is not your strength that sustains you, but my faithfulness. I have carried generations before you, and I will carry you as well, all the way into the destiny I have prepared. Pause now if you are weary. Let my words quiet the noise around and within you. You are safe here. I rejoice over you. You will never be abandoned. Not in your darkest hour, not in your weakest moment. My arms are secure, holding you through every storm, and my voice speaks peace into the chaos. I am forming in you a resilience not born of striving, but of reliance on me, a quiet courage that grows in trust and hope rather than in fear. I know the depth of your heart, the silent cries, the unanswered questions, the hopes that float like fragile lanterns in a dark night. My awareness of you is not fleeting. It is constant as breath and deeper than the roots of mountains. If you long to live in this peace, choose now to make room for me each day. Decide a time you will return to me. Set a reminder, save these words, come back to them whenever you feel overwhelmed. Let this be your commitment. I will seek you daily. Act on it now so your heart remembers. There are times you may wonder if your prayers have drifted into silence, or if your longing has gone unnoticed, but nothing concerning you escapes my notice. I am the one who whispers comfort when the world's noise grows sharp. I am the true shelter, the quiet in your storm, the warm embrace that neither judges nor turns away. When the narrowness of life makes you feel hemmed in, know that I see you fully, wholly, and I do not draw back from your mess or your confusion. Even when you stumble, I do not catalog your faults to shame you, but stretch out my hand without hesitation, guiding you once again toward hope. In my presence, you are gently unmasked. There is nothing you need to hide from me. The secrets you shield so tightly, the mistakes that trouble your conscience, bring them to me. My forgiveness is not reserved for those deemed flawless. It is for you, exactly as you are. Stop fearing that your weaknesses define you, for in your weakness, my strength is made perfect. Let your defenses fall, and let my love become the healing salve for your wounds, the mender of places you thought would always ache. It is not your perfection that draws me, but your willingness to come close, even with trembling hands and a tired spirit. I am at work in ways you do not yet see. Seeds of redemption are sown in the darkest of soils. What you perceive as ending, I can transform into a beginning. I look upon you as a gardener does their precious vine, not disappointed by barren branches, but tenderly pruning, nurturing, and expecting fruit in due season. Do not despair when growth feels slow or invisible. Life happens beneath the surface, away from curious eyes, in secret places where only I can see. Trust that your times are in my hands, that nothing invested in love or truth is ever lost, no matter how unseen it seems now. There are gifts in you that you have yet to discover. I delight in the smallest parts of your story. The overlooked talents, the kindnesses given away without thought of recognition. I see your quiet strength and the courage it has taken to keep rising after every setback. Let me remind you that your significance does not depend on applause or worldly acknowledgement, but on the truth that you are my creation, cherished and purposed in ways that eternity alone can fully reveal. When you feel insignificant, remember that the smallest seed can become a sheltering tree, and a single act of faith can change the direction of an entire day. Whenever you feel aimless or weighed down by uncertainty, know that I know the path forward. I am never lost, never surprised by what comes next. My guidance is not always revealed in sweeping visions or sudden answers, but often in quiet nudges, unexpected compassion, and the gentle conviction that leads you onward. I have not abandoned you to figure everything out on your own. You are accompanied by grace step by step, even as you walk through shadows or wanderings. When your own wisdom fails, ask for mine, and I will give it freely, not begrudgingly. My wisdom is not distant or withheld, but available now and perfectly suited to your need in your relationships. I am weaving restoration and hope, even where hurt has lingered for far too long. Let me show you how to forgive not just others, but also yourself. The power to release bitterness is not something you must conjure from emptiness, but a gift poured out from my heart. If you let me, I will soften what has grown hard, heal what is splintered, and fill the empty chairs at your table with my presence. Do not let disappointment define your capacity to love. There is always a second chance, always a new day when you allow me to sit with you at the center of your heart. If you fear not measuring up, know that my standard is mercy, not perfection. I am not tallying your failures, but inviting you to take the next faithful step. You are not disqualified by your doubt or your past. I am the God who makes all things new, who chooses the unlikely and lifts the weary. It is not your status, your accomplishments, or even your strength that I require, but your openness to let me lead you onward. Each day I invite you to lay aside the burdens too heavy for you and to yoke yourself with my gentleness and humility. My path is not always the easiest, but it is safe, and it is where your soul finds true belonging. The world often measures worth by achievement, applause, or accumulation. But I draw near to the brokenhearted, to the ones overlooked by many. Let it settle into your bones that your value has been established long before you could perform or impress. You are wanted, seen, chosen, not for what you can accomplish, but simply because you are mine. Lean into that security, allowing it to uproot old lies that tell you must earn love or prove yourself worthy. My affection flows not from obligation, but from delight. You are my joy, and there is nothing you could do to make me love you less. Whenever fear threatens to paralyze or keep you silent, know that I am your courage. I have placed my spirit within you, not as a faint spark, but as a vibrant flame. The cultural clamor, the inner critic, the doubts that rise like storm waves, none of these have the power to drown out my voice unless you allow them. When you feel small or powerless, speak to me and allow my presence to restore your confidence. Together, we will overcome every barrier that stands between you and the fullness of life that I desire for you. Your journey is not random. It is a narrative I am actively writing. Even now, every joy, every sorrow, every ordinary hour finds meaning when you bring it to me. Do not minimize the significance of your daily faithfulness, for I am the God who multiplies small offerings and turns mustard seeds into great harvests. Where there is fatigue, I bring rest. Where there is striving, I offer peace. Where there is sorrow, I promise comfort. And where there is longing, I plant hope, hope that does not disappoint, because it is anchored in me, the one who never changes. I see the longing in your heart, the way you reach out for meaning amid the noise and bustle of each passing day. Let me draw close and quiet the restlessness within you, for I am no distant observer, but the very breath that fills your soul with life. In every struggle you face, I am there beside you, never turning away, even when the weight of your burdens causes you to stumble. My love does not gauge your worth by the number of times you succeed or falter, but rather by the unyielding promise I gave you to be your refuge, your strength, your everlasting companion. You may have doubted whether your efforts matter or whether your prayers rise above the chaos, but nothing escapes my attention. Every whispered hope, every silent tear, every ache you carry is precious to me. I do not simply watch from afar. I gather your pain and cradle it in my hands, transforming it in ways you may not yet see. When fear grips your mind and uncertainty clouds your vision, Remember, my presence is not something you must earn or achieve. It is the gift I pour out daily, new and unending. Even when shadows whisper that you are alone or unworthy, know that I have called you by name and declared you beloved. The world's approval is a fleeting and fickle thing, but my favor rests upon you perpetually. Refuse to let shame or regret hold you hostage. What you have carried in secret, bring to me. My grace is not repelled by imperfection. It embraces it, wrapping you in forgiveness that cannot be undone. There are moments when your strength falters, when doubts crowd out hope and the path ahead seems swallowed by fog. Yet I remind you, you were never meant to walk this journey by your own power. I am your shepherd, guiding you even when you cannot see the way. Trust does not mean never feeling fear. It means letting me lead you through it, step by trembling step, until fear gives way to trust once more. In your weakness, my strength has room to reveal its fullness. When you surrender your striving, space is made for miracles, sometimes quiet, sometimes spectacular, always evidence of my hand gently at work in your story. Let me plant within you dreams greater than your disappointments, hope that defies logic and joy that sings louder than sorrow. Do not hide your desires from me. I delight in the unique longings I have sown in your heart. Where others may minimize your pain or rush you past your longing, I linger with you, celebrating every small victory and holding you through every setback. The journey I have designed for you is not a straight path, but an unfolding adventure of restoration. Even your failures are redeemed within my purpose. Nothing is wasted. Not a single moment, not a tear, not a prayer. I use it all as material for the beautiful masterpiece I am making of your life. You may find it difficult to surrender control, fearing what might happen if you release your tight grip on outcomes you cannot predict. Yet true peace is found when you let go and trust that I am already in tomorrow. I see the full tapestry. While you may catch only a single thread, my perspective brings order out of seeming chaos. As you yield to me, your anxieties lose their power, replaced by a calm assurance that your story is held secure within my loving hands. Let this truth sink deep into your spirit. Nothing is too broken that it cannot be mended. No dream too dead that it cannot be revived. When you offer it to me, open your heart to receive the newness I desire to bring. Each sunrise is a declaration that yesterday's failures and fears have no hold over today. Do not measure yourself by what has been lost or what remains unfinished. Instead, rest in the certainty that my mercies are as constant as the dawn, always rising to meet you. Sometimes you hesitate, clinging to old wounds or familiar shame, feeling safer in the predictability of disappointment. But I am calling you out into wide open spaces of possibility, inviting you to risk radical hope, to believe that there is more for you than cycles of fear, guilt, or regret. When you struggle to believe in your worth, look not at your weaknesses, but at my unwavering commitment to you. The measure of your value is not found in the opinions of others or in your own changing emotions, but in the eternal love I have lavished on you. I chose you before you knew me. I have walked every lonely road by your side. The value I place on you is infinite, unwavering, and unconditional. As you lean into this truth, let it reshape how you see both yourself and the world around you. You are not a mistake or an afterthought. You are my treasured creation, formed with intention, held with care, and destined for purpose. Let go of unhealthy comparisons and the pressure to perform for acceptance. My love is not awarded to the most impressive, but offered freely to all who would receive it. I am delighted in your simple trust, in your willingness to draw near, even when you feel desperate or uncertain. When you fall, I am quick to lift you up. When you weep, I hold you close. When you dare to believe in my promises, even in doubt, that faith is precious to me. Set your sights not on the approval of others, but on my steady gaze that never leaves you, never condemns, always invites you closer. As your heart grows more aware of my nearness, allow it to dissolve the walls you built from disappointment and fear. Give me your bitterness, your exhaustion, even your anger. I can handle all you bring, redeeming it into wisdom, peace, and resilience. Place your trust not in fleeting circumstances, but in the enduring goodness of my character. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Faithful in every season, steadfast when all else shifts and shakes. Let the assurance of my faithfulness anchor you now, giving you courage to move forward into the unknown with hope. In every moment where disappointment seems to close in around you, I am nearer than you imagine, extending my hand so you may know that you are never left alone in your struggles. Sometimes your own thoughts speak words of fear, encouraging you to hold back, to expect less, or to accept a life hemmed in by limitations you never chose. But I do not see you through the fog of those fears. I see the fullness of who you are as I created you, strong, resilient, and dearly loved, with a spirit designed to rise above the setbacks that trouble your mind. As you find yourself wrestling with old habits or memories that refuse to fade, I ask you to trust that each new day is truly new and not simply a repetition of what came before. My mercies are fresh with the morning, and I delight in showing you wonders that only appear when you move forward, despite uncertainty. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You might wonder if I am truly attentive to the smallest details of your life, or just watching from some faraway height. But I assure you, I am present in the unseen places, attentive to the first stirring of hope in your spirit and every sigh of exhaustion that escapes you. I am the warmth behind the comfort you feel when you did not expect relief, the stillness at the center of the storm you thought might swallow you whole. I am the smile in the stranger who lifts your heavy heart with a kindness you did not ask for, the courage that blossoms in an unexpected moment. There are days when you will struggle to hear my voice above the noise and confusion. On those days, return to the quiet. Draw near to simplicity, for there is no complexity to my love for you. It is constant, unshaken, not dependent on your performance or the perfection of your faith. My faith in you is greater than yours in me. For I know the beginning and the end, and I understand how victory often comes disguised as endurance through ordinary days. You have wondered if the waiting wears down your purpose, but in truth, the waiting deepens you, giving your hope roots that reach deeper than any disappointment ever could. You may not see the harvest yet, but I see the first green shoots breaking through hard ground. I celebrate every inch of progress, every time you choose kindness over bitterness, forgiveness over resentment, or honesty over hiding. These ordinary choices are the building blocks of a life that reflects my love into a world so hungry for it. Let me teach you about real peace, not the fleeting comfort of a perfect circumstance, but an inner steadiness that persists regardless of outward change. True peace grows as you learn to trust me in what you do not understand, to relax your grip on outcomes, and to let go of the pressure to control what is not yours to carry. When anxieties try to dictate your steps, pause and breathe deeply. I am right there, holding your heart steady beneath the surface turmoil. I offer rest that no striving can achieve, a rest that invites you to bring all your worries and doubts to me, and then watch as that heavy burden becomes light in my care. Remember, the world has its own voices that promise peace but deliver only distraction or fleeting comfort. My peace is different. It is like a river that remains undisturbed even when the wind lifts the waves at the surface. When you anchor yourself in my presence, you become like a tree planted by water, your roots drawing nourishment continually, even in seasons of drought. Let this assurance settle your soul. Nothing is wasted that is entrusted to me. Not your tears, not your laughter, not your waiting or your wondering. I am weaving together a story with your life, one that is both deeply personal and part of a larger tapestry you cannot always see. When you grow tired of your part, or when the threads seem tangled, do not despair. Trust my timing, for I am shaping each chapter with patience, wisdom, and unyielding love. You may wish for the pattern to come clear all at once, but I invite you instead to savor the moments, to look for me in the subtle changes, gentle encouragements, and quiet breakthroughs. There are times you may feel misunderstood, isolated in your struggles, or overlooked by those around you. But I never miss a single detail of your heart. I see the courage it takes for you to rise each day, to keep believing, to persevere when little seems to change on the outside. I gather every prayer you whisper, even the ones you forget or leave unfinished. My love fills the space left by every loss, every disappointment, and every unanswered question. Let your heart rest in this. You do not have to strive to earn what I give freely. Love is not a reward for effort. It is the starting point of everything I desire to build in you. My spirit works gently but persistently within you, shaping your character through both joy and difficulty. There is nothing wasted, no struggle unseen, no day that fails to add to the beauty I am creating in and through your life. As you go forward from here, do not let fear define your boundaries or make you doubt your worth. I am your strength and your song, your firm foundation in every storm. Lift your eyes above the immediate, for I have called you to purposes larger than temporary discomforts or setbacks. My promises are not fragile. They do not break under the weight of delay, nor wither under hardship. My promises are as steady as the rising sun, certain as the dawn. Your journey with me is not about achieving perfection, but about growing in trust, choosing again and again to return to my embrace. Accept my invitation to draw closer, to rest deeper, to open your heart more fully. Each step forward, no matter how small, is one I celebrate. Each moment of honesty, surrender, or hope is a gift you give back to me, and I treasure it far more than you know. You are never disqualified from my love by your mistakes, nor does your struggle make you less precious in my sight. I use what others might discard, turning past pain into new strength and transforming weakness into avenues for my grace to shine. Come as you are, not as who you think you should be, and let me show you what it means to be cherished without conditions, seen and valued at your deepest level. You have journeyed far with me through these words, and now I draw you into an even deeper place. Do not think you have exhausted the depths of what I wish to pour into your heart. There are treasures still hidden, waiting for you to discover them, not through your striving, but through quietness and trust. In the secret chambers of your heart, I am working still, smoothing the rough edges that pain and disappointment have left behind. You are not defined by your past or by your fears. Even those moments you regret, those decisions you wish you could rewrite, they are not stumbling blocks to me. I use every woven thread of your story, crafting beauty even from tangled cords. I delight in restoring you, not just to a version of yourself the world would approve, but to the fullness of life I always envisioned for you. I see each burden you carry, those spoken and those silent, and my invitation remains. Cast your burdens upon me. You never weary me with your concerns. Lay down the self-protection you have learned as a shield against pain. Open your heart, for I am gentle and humble in heart. I do not judge you with accusation, nor do I force you with shame. Rather, I call you forward with hope. I have always known your vulnerabilities, your strengths, your confusion. And still I choose you every single day. You are not overlooked. My gaze is fixed upon you, not with a searching for your failures, but with the delight of a parent watching a beloved child take their next courageous step. The world tells you to prove your worth, to be strong and impressive. I am not impressed by the things that fade away. I look at your willingness to trust, your humility when you stumble, your tender acts of unseen kindness, and I rejoice. As you walk closely with me, you will find that love leaves traces wherever it goes. Love does not have to shout to be real. It works quietly, transforming both the giver and the receiver with each small offering. What you do in secret, I see, and I weave it into the tapestry of redemption. Nothing is wasted. Do not be deterred by how long the journey feels, nor disheartened by the progress that seems too slow. I am not measuring you by the pace of outward accomplishments, but by the growth of love within you. Remember that the strongest trees grow the slowest, their roots going deep in the unseen earth before their branches ever spread wide. Allow me to send roots of hope and courage deep into my presence within you. In seasons of silence and waiting, you are being fortified for the days to come. The world may misunderstand your hiddenness, but I am forming you in ways that one day will be revealed as glory. Let your soul find quiet in my sovereignty. Nothing escapes my attention, not a sigh nor a setback. My wisdom is higher than your understanding. I know the timing and unfolding that best prepares you for fruitfulness. Trust the seasons even when they bewilder you. Seeds must rest in darkness before they break forth in life. And so it is with the dreams I plant inside you. Guard against the temptation to compare your path to another's. Each life is a masterpiece in progress, and I alone see the fullness of the picture being painted. When storms come, do not fear you have strayed from my love. On the contrary, it is sometimes in the tumult that my voice becomes clearest, not in thunder, but in the calm assurance that I am with you. The winds and waves may batter, but they cannot snatch you from my hand. Let the storms remind you of my power to protect and to bring peace. In every loss, let your longing be drawn to me. I am the treasure that moth and rust cannot destroy. If you are grieving, know that I am acquainted with sorrow, and I weep with you. My comfort is not distant. It is near enough to catch every tear. You may notice that when others misunderstand you or judge you, it wounds deeply. Bring that wound to me, not as a battle to fight alone, but as a place where I can apply my healing. Let me show you your true identity, not the distorted reflection you sometimes see through the eyes of others. You are known and loved fully, and that is more enduring than the changing opinions around you. Let your heart be anchored in who I say you are, for my word stands unshaken by the shifting sands of circumstance. There are gifts within you that fear cannot extinguish. The unique grace I have placed on your life is not diminished by setbacks or by time. Even in seasons where it feels as though you are hidden away, I am working both in you and through you. Sometimes the greatest acts of faithfulness are done in obscurity, seen only by me. I rejoice over those moments as much as the visible triumphs. Do not despise small beginnings, for every great work begins in secret. Trust that I am nurturing every seed sown in faith, every act of obedience, and nothing escapes my notice. I am inviting you to breathe deeply, to discover joy even in the simplicity of being with me. Let go of the pressure to perform or impress. Instead, be present to each moment of my presence. There is a wonder here that the world cannot counterfeit. The more you make space for me in the silence, the more you will recognize my whisper, even amid the noise. When discouragement tries to settle over you, remember that hope rises not from circumstances, but from relationship with me. Hope is never in vain. I am not finished writing your story. There are pages yet to be revealed, chapters of restoration and promise. If you feel unqualified or not enough, know that I am your sufficiency. My grace fills every gap and shines brightest in your places of lack. What the world calls weakness, I can use as the doorway for my strength. Let my love find you today, not because you have reached a high mountain, but because you dared to draw near just as you are. This is the unique calling I set before you now, to live awake to my nearness, attuned to my heartbeat, confident that your life is precious, purposeful, and held securely in my hands. Let your spirit rest in this truth. You are and always have been my beloved. You may have wandered through many seasons in your life, carrying burdens heavier than you ever expected to shoulder. The weight of disappointment, the sting of words spoken in anger, regrets that cloud your mornings, and uncertainties that haunt your nights. Nothing is hidden from me. When pain has threatened to settle like stones in your spirit, know that each breath you have taken has been observed by me with the tenderest of care. I do not despise your moments of weakness, nor do I back away when frustration becomes your companion. Remember, my compassion is not measured by the scale of your victories, but by the depth of your need. I see you reaching for understanding, longing for the assurance that my love is unwavering, even when you feel undeserving. Allow the truth of my faithfulness to unfold gently within you like the dawn, dissolving the shadows of night, persistent, reliable, and ever-increasing in strength. Even when your journey brings you to unfamiliar places, new responsibilities, changed relationships, sudden loss, or surprise opportunity, I am the constant that anchors your soul. You may question, doubt, or fear. And yet, in this honest wrestling, you will find me drawing closer, not farther away. Hear me clearly. Your struggles are not evidence of my absence, but rather the context in which my nearness becomes vividly real. It is not your grip on me that saves you, but my steady hold on you. Rest in the knowledge that you never walk alone. And the spirit I have given you is not one of timidity, but power, love, and sound discernment. When temptation whispers to you, urging you to give up, settle for less, or believe that your efforts are in vain, remember who I am. I am not a distant observer indifferent to your struggles. I am the loving Father who understands your frame, who welcomes you not for your perfection, but for your honest desire to belong to me. In moments of weakness, let gratitude surface, not just gratitude for blessings received, but for my presence in all things, for the very breath of life within you, for every second chance and every moment of mercy that blankets your missteps. Gratitude will be a shield to your mind and balm to your heart, helping you see the sacred embedded in the routine, the holy, even in hardship. Consider how I shaped the world from chaos, how I brought light out of darkness and life from what seemed void. This same creative power works in your life, redeeming what is broken, coaxing beauty from pain, order from confusion. Be patient, for my work in you is delicately unfolding, a masterpiece in progress. The seeds that you have planted in faith, acts of kindness, forgiveness offered, silent prayers, and courageous starts, none are wasted. I water those seeds with my own tears of joy and compassion. And in due season you will see the fruit and marvel at what my grace has accomplished through you. As you grow, resist the urge to measure your progress by the standards of others or even by your own limited imagination. I am doing a new thing within you, something wider, deeper, and higher than what has come before. My child, do not rush the process. The desert may feel endless, but it is not purposeless. In the quiet of waiting, in the rhythm of ordinary days, I gently cultivate resilience, empathy, and trust. Each delay becomes an opportunity to deepen your roots in me, steady and unseen, so that when storms come, your foundation will not be shaken. Let me remind you of the joy that is available to you, not based on circumstances, but rooted in my unchanging nature. Joy is not the denial of hardship, but a defiant declaration that you are loved beyond measure, secure beyond question. In laughter and in tears, in abundance and in want, joy can be found as you draw from the well of my steadfast love. Dare to celebrate small victories. Take delight in progress and in process, allowing yourself to smile even on the imperfect days. I delight in you at every stage of your walk. My delight is not postponed until you've arrived. You are cherished and treasured here and now. Just as you are, interwoven with joy is hope, a stubborn, radiant hope that cannot be extinguished by disappointment or uncertainty. My promises over you are not mere wishes. They are irrevocable truths anchored in my character. Even if you cannot see the way forward, let hope rise. Open your hands to what I am unfolding and trust that what I build in you surpasses what you have lost or left behind. Hope flourishes in hearts willing to trust, even when the path ahead is shrouded. As you lean into me, hope becomes your song in the night and your courage in the morning. You are not meant to make this journey by the strength of your own resolve. Bring me your fatigue, your longings, your dreams deferred. Surrender does not signal defeat, but becomes the doorway for my power to flow in and through your surrendered life. The moments when you choose to yield, to trust me more than your own understanding, become altars where my miraculous provision is displayed. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. My power is not limited by your resources or your comprehension. I delight to use what seems insufficient and multiply it beyond your imagination, so that only my glory can be seen. Embrace your uniqueness, for I have crafted you with intention and care. Your perspective, your story, your gifts, all are threads in the magnificent tapestry I am weaving for this generation. Do not hide or diminish yourself, thinking you are too small or insignificant. You are a living testimony to my creativity and love. Let the fullness of who you are shine, not for your own acclaim, but as a beacon, inviting others into the light of my love. Risk vulnerability by being authentic, not only with me, but with those around you. For honesty opens the way to deeper connection, both with heaven and with others on the journey. Let my peace rule in your heart, especially when confusion knocks at your door or chaos threatens your sense of stability. My peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of assurance that I remain sovereign over all things. You can rest even in the midst of unrest, knowing that nothing surprises or overwhelms me. Turn your anxieties into prayers, your doubts into conversations with me. As you do, my peace will guard your heart and mind, steadying your steps. As you move forward in faith, you have seen my faithfulness in the past. Remember those moments and let them feed your confidence for today and tomorrow. Let gratitude and remembrance be the rhythm of your spirituality, the undercurrent that buoys you in the tides of change. Speak hope over your life and into the lives of others, naming my goodness even when you must do so with trembling lips. For every valley you walk, I walk beside you. And for every mountain you face, my hand lifts you higher. Still, keep trusting. Keep believing, for my love will never let you go. In this holy moment, as your heart lingers at the edge of surrender and hope, know that I have been with you in every breath of this journey. Each day rises and falls with my faithfulness holding you steady, whether you have seen it or only felt the longing for it. Allow everything you have received to settle deep within, for I have deposited strength, comfort, and vision into your innermost being. The storms that rise against you are not a sign of abandonment, but an opportunity for you to discover my staying power and the depth of my presence that cannot be washed away by any earthly tide. You do not walk ahead of me, nor lag behind. I lead you with gentle hands and walk beside you as a friend who never wearies. My word over you is not a mere whisper, but a decree woven into your days, shaping your destiny with relentless love. Sometimes your path feels narrow and winding, the way forward hidden behind pressing concerns and heartaches that seem too heavy to bear. I see how you strain against the pressures, the fear of failing, the regret over words spoken and deeds left undone, the anxious calculations about the future that gnaw at your peace. Yet nothing you face is beyond my redemptive touch. Let me have your uncertainty, your shame, your exhaustion. I transform valleys of despair into places of growth. And every place where you have felt uprooted or displaced is a field I am readying for a new planting. The story of your life is not written in disappointment, but in overcoming, in trust that grows like the sunflower searching out the dawn. Leave your disappointments with me and dare to believe that I heal what is broken and restore what seems lost for good. Lift your eyes to me whenever shadows fall across your mind or your steps. In your confusion, seek my wisdom. In your emptiness, open your hands so I may fill them with meaning and joy again. I do not waste a single sorrow. I gather your tears and I turn them into seeds that blossom in due season. What you feel is ending may be the beginning of a new miracle. Every closed door, every unexpected pause is laced with my purpose. Even when understanding escapes you, wait not in frustration but in anticipation. For I am always at work and nothing escapes my loving gaze. I come close to you where you feel the most unworthy, and I call you beloved. I do not recoil from your questions, your doubts, or the places still shrouded in fear. Instead, I draw near, warming the frozen corners of your heart and inviting you to release the burdens you carry alone. Each time you return to me, you find an embrace that steadies and renews. I see the courage it takes for you to keep believing, to keep loving, to keep forgiving and reaching when your own reserves feel empty. The smallest act of trust is precious to me, and I amplify it, multiplying hope from even the faintest spark of faith. Stop for a moment and take a deep breath, for right here, in the middle of all the noise and the chaos of your day, I am asking you to listen to something different. If you quiet your mind just for a second, you will hear my voice, not shouting like the world does, but whispering deep within your spirit, calling you to keep moving forward. I want you to walk with a new kind of confidence today, not because you can see exactly where the road is ending, but because you finally trust the one who is walking right beside you. My promise to you is solid. It is unshaken by the news, by your bank account, or by your relationship status, and my presence is never going to be withdrawn from you. I know there are moments when you feel completely lost, like you are wandering without a map. But hear me clearly when I say you are never forgotten. My memory of you is flawless. I hold every single detail of your life, your history, and your future in my hands. Every hope you are too afraid to say out loud, every sharp pain you cannot find the words to explain to your friends. I notice it all, and I treasure you through it. I want my love to be the solid ground beneath your feet today, the banner that flies over your life, and the shield that protects your heart, no matter what season you are in. You need to root yourself in peace, but not the kind of peace the world gives that disappears when things go wrong. I am talking about my peace, which does not depend on your circumstances. The world around you might be roaring and trembling with bad news, but I have prepared a secret place of stillness just for you, where you can be restored. As you leave this moment, do not let what you've heard fade away. Seal it with a response. Whisper, I receive this, and if you can, share this hope with someone who needs it. Let today be the day you choose to walk in this truth, and keep returning again and again to my presence and my words over your life. You need to receive the assurance right now that you are enough, simply because I am enough and I live inside of you. Every time you feel limited, look at it as an opportunity to lean into my strength. Every place where you feel lack, see it as a blank canvas where I am about to paint my abundance. Please do not be ashamed of your needs or your desires, because when you bring them to me, I don't look at you with judgment. I delight in meeting you in that honest, open space where you trust me. Hold on to hope with a stubbornness that refuses to let go. I know the days feel long right now, and I know the waiting room of life feels like it has stretched out far beyond your preferred timeline. But my timing is actually faithful, and it is just. I see the end of the story from the beginning, and every single part of your journey, even the messy parts, is precious to me. I want you to plant my words in your heart and water them with your prayers. And remember that even when your prayers are nothing but heavy sighs or groans that are too deep for language, I am the one who translates your silence. I am the one who redeems your wounds, and I am the one who celebrates every tiny victory you make along the way. You are standing right now precisely where you need to be, right at the crossroads of a deep longing and a coming fulfillment. If you feel this tug in your spirit, pause right now, place your hand over your heart and whisper, I am not alone, God is with me. Let this simple act be your first step of faith. Hear me in this stillness as I speak to the very depths of who you are, because this word is for you, and this specific moment was designed for your heart. You might be sensing a gentle stirring inside, a feeling that is beckoning you to listen a little longer, a promise that is hovering right on the edge of a breakthrough, waiting to unfold just for you. Let the heavy weight of distraction fall off your shoulders. Do not let yourself drift into numbness or indifference, because the truth I have for you right now is going to be oxygen for your weary soul, meeting you in a way that no video, no person, and no other voice could. This is not some distant religious echo or a ritual of fancy words. This is a direct, personal conversation between my heart and yours. In your daily life, haven't you felt that ache, that unspoken question that hangs in the air at the end of your routine or during those silent evenings? I see the uncertainties that wrap around your thoughts like vines. Questions about whether you have a future, questions about your direction and where you truly belong. I see you in your striving, trying so hard to make it work, and I see you in those moments of quiet defeat when you wonder if I even notice, if I care, or if I am anywhere near you. Let me settle this for you once and for all. You have my undivided attention. My eyes are fixed on you. If these words are reaching you, don't scroll away and don't tune out. Stay with me in this moment, and in your heart say, speak to me, I'm listening. You can rest in the knowledge that I see deeper than anyone else sees. I see beyond the mask you wear for the world, and beyond what you even dare to admit to yourself. My knowledge of you isn't cold or distant. It is warm, it is full of mercy, and it is full of understanding. With every breath you take, you are not only seen, you are cherished. Think, for a second, about the beauty of a sunrise, how it spills light over the earth and announces that a new day is here. I am the author of every new beginning, and this very moment stands as proof that new mercies are available to you. You do not have to be afraid of the mistakes of yesterday or the worries of tomorrow, because I am renewing my love toward you right now. Every day, every hour, I am meeting you with kindness, offering you a path to healing, not a sentence of condemnation. The invitation is wide open, so draw near. Let your heart learn how to trust again. Let it learn how to hope again. Let it breathe in the peace that only I can provide. In those secret places where you feel totally alone, I am the gentle presence that is cradling your spirit. My love is not reserved for the people who have it all together or the strong. I am actually drawn to your weakness. I am drawn to your honesty and your willingness to admit that you need me. There is no shame in your struggle. Every wound, every doubt, every longing that feels too heavy to carry, I know them intimately, and I am not intimidated by them, and I do not turn away from them. My hands are skilled at fixing what has been broken. My heart is patient enough to walk with you through the shadows until we reach the wide, open spaces of freedom. You are not defined by your failures or the labels that society tries to stick on you. I call you beloved. I call you redeemed. I call you chosen. If this is speaking to you, save these words or write down one sentence that touched you so you can return to it the next time you forget how I see you. When you feel overwhelmed by everything inside you that still feels unfinished, do not forget that I am rejoicing over you even now. Not because you are perfect, but because you are mine. This journey is not about rushing to the finish line as fast as possible. It is about learning to walk with me, step by step, discovering grace in every single stage. I delight in teaching you, comforting you, and correcting you with a wisdom that is always wrapped in kindness. Lean into my promises today. Open your heart just a little bit wider. What I have in store for you is not just survival. I don't want you to just get by. I want you to have abundant life, a joy that cannot be stolen by your situation, and a peace that stands firm even when the storm clouds gather. Listen closely. Let my voice quiet that noise of fear and shame in your head. I am not watching you from a distance. I am your refuge and your strength. I am ever present, and I never get tired of carrying you through the hardest valleys. Do not measure your worth by your stumbles, and do not compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. I have shaped your story with a unique beauty. Nothing is wasted in my hands, not the pain you have endured, nor these long seasons of waiting. I weave all things, even the parts that seem shattered, into a tapestry of redemption. Let hope rise up in you, even if right now it only feels like a tiny whisper. I am able to make beauty bloom from the ashes. I am able to lift you from places you thought were beyond repair. You may have been told by the world to hide your needs, to keep your disappointments buried deep where nobody can see them. Yet I search the inner rooms of your heart without any judgment. Bring your burdens to me, not as someone who has to impress me or earn my love, but as a child who knows they are deeply loved by their Father. Together we are going to walk forward. The old patterns that have been holding you back are ready to break. The heaviness you are carrying can get lighter, even if you can't imagine it yet. Trust my patient work in your life. In the quiet moments, I am whispering hope. I am doing more than you can see with your natural eyes. When doors seem shut, or when the silence lingers, do not mistake my waiting for my absence. I am always working behind the scenes, preparing, shaping, and planting seeds that are going to bear fruit at the exact right time. My timing is rarely your timing, but it is always woven with wisdom and love. Though you might not understand what is happening right now, you can rest in the certainty that I am for you. I am not against you. Release that fear that says you will be abandoned or left to fight your battles alone. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Right now, as a sign that you trust I am with you, whisper a short prayer out loud, or type Amen or I receive this as your simple yes to me. Even when your faith feels microscopic, remember, it is I who sustains you. If your heart is heavy and your prayers are faltering, know that my spirit is interceding for you with emotions that words cannot express. I am closer than your own breath. I am steadfast through your darkest nights and your brightest mornings. Trust me with your beginnings, your endings, and every messy space in between. Let my presence be the ground beneath your feet and the song that rises in your heart. As you surrender, little by little, you don't have to do it all at once. You will discover a freedom that is unknown to people who only cling to their own strength. You belong to me, and nothing can separate you from my love. Come exactly as you are, with your honesty, your bruised hopes, and your hunger for something more. I will meet you right here, and together we will walk a new way. The way of life, the way of hope, and the way of transformation. Let me show you what it truly means to be alive under the shelter of my love. Even as you come before me with your questions and your quiet hopes, I am already aware of every longing and every silent ache you are carrying. Nothing is hidden from me, neither your joys nor your wounds. I understand how sometimes the burdens seem too heavy or the journey feels too complex. And yet I want you to know there is no moment where I turn my gaze away from you. In the gentle rhythm of your heart, in the steady rise and fall of your chest, I am there sustaining, watching, and waiting for you to realize that my nearness isn't something you earn by being perfect. It is granted by love. This love is not distant or reserved only for the flawless people. It is poured out for you, here and now, personal and undiminished by your fears or your failures. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. There have been times when you wondered if you are seen at all, whether your efforts and your whispers in the darkness matter. I tell you, none of it has been missed. Every seed of kindness you have sown, each prayer you uttered in hope or desperation, finds its way to me. I collect your tears. I remember your laughter, and each sigh for help echoes deeply in my heart. Your life, in all its complexity, is precious to me. This isn't just a nice sentiment. It is a profound truth. You belong not just to this world, or to the expectations of your family, but to me, the one who formed you with care and with a vision of all you can become. I designed you uniquely, with gifts and dreams that have my fingerprint on them. When confusion crowds your mind and doubts threaten to eclipse your peace, remember this: my promises are not fragile. My faithfulness does not waver based on your mood or your circumstances. Even now, as you listen to these words, I am drawing near to renew hope where it has faded. I am not limited by your past or by what others say about you. Too often, the noise of the world seeks to drown out my still, loving voice within you. The world asks for proofs and achievements, but I look deeper, to the gentle willingness in your heart to turn toward me. Even amidst uncertainty, your story is still unfolding, and you are not alone in the chapters that feel unresolved or incomplete. I see what you have overcome just to arrive at this moment, the nights spent wrestling with decisions, the days of quiet faithfulness that went uncelebrated. Nothing escapes my notice. Your struggles do not disqualify you from my favor. If anything, they open new spaces for my strength to shine through your weakness. I want to show you what it means to rest in the assurance that you are not defined by what you lack, but by what I have spoken over your life. I am not distant. You don't need to shout or prove yourself to get my attention. Even the faintest whisper of your heart is heard. Sometimes you might wonder if your hopes are too bold, your dreams too fragile, or your flaws too real for me to want you just as you are. Trust that I am not daunted by any of it. My desire is to meet you in that very place, to bring light where there is uncertainty, and to water the dreams that have grown dry. Consider for a moment how even the smallest seed, hidden beneath the soil, carries the promise of abundant life when nurtured by my care. I see the seeds in you, ideas, talents, and hopes that you sometimes barely dare to acknowledge. Let me be the strength beneath your weariness, the peace in your confusion, and the faithful companion on your journey. Your worth is not measured by the standards that society uses or by the voices that remind you of your mistakes. You are precious because you are mine. The world might overlook you, but I gather every detail of your existence with delight. Nothing is wasted. Not your seasons of waiting, not your quiet acts of service, not your searching questions. Even when your faith feels small, it is enough for me to work wonders. Allow yourself the grace to begin again today. There is no shame in needing me, no weakness in leaning on my provision. I am not only for the strong or the certain, I am for the brokenhearted, the tired, the doubters, and the seekers. You do not journey alone. Listen past the accusations and the hurried pace around you and hear my invitation. Come to me. Bring your tangled thoughts, your anxieties, your need for approval. I am not weary of you. Instead, I am inviting you to discover a rest that cannot be found in human striving. My presence is the safe place you have been searching for, even when you didn't have the words to ask. In me, you are safe to be honest, safe to grieve, and safe to rejoice. I welcome both your questions and your trust. I want to teach you how to see life through my eyes, a perspective that brings hope. Even when the circumstances do not quickly change, everything you entrust to me, even if it is little, I honor and multiply in ways beyond your imagining. The act of letting go and placing your concerns in my hands is not the end of your agency, but the beginning of true peace. There is beauty in the vulnerability you sometimes try to conceal. I see the moments when you quietly offer forgiveness, when you choose compassion, when you still hope after disappointment. Every good intention, every effort to love or serve, bears in it the reflection of my heart. You are not merely surviving, you are learning to live in the light of my affection for you. Let this truth settle deep within. Your life matters to me, not because of what you accomplish, but because you are my beloved, and I take joy in you. As you move forward, carry this assurance: nothing is wasted. I redeem even the chapters you wish you could erase. There is no past too dark, no future too uncertain for my love to reach. I am the one who makes all things new, and I am not finished with you yet. Let hope rise again, not as a distant possibility, but as a present reality, because I am with you. Keep your heart open. Tomorrow holds new mercies, and today is still a gift. There are moments when you doubt your value, when the darkness feels overwhelming, and you wonder if your prayers even rise beyond the ceiling. I am here, seeing beneath what you show to the world, gently touching the places you guard so closely. Let me assure you, you are precisely where you need to be to hear my voice. For my wisdom will find you not through flashes of thunder, but within the soft persistence of hope that keeps returning to your heart. Sometimes, when you let your mind grow quiet and you listen beyond your fears, you sense the promise unfolding within you. This quiet persistence is no accident. I placed it there. It is a seed that only needs your trust to flourish into steadfast joy. The journey I lead you through is shaped intentionally for you. Even in the struggle, resist the lie that says you are forgotten or that your life is ordinary. For what you call weakness, I see as the starting point of a unique transformation. My love does not abandon the weary or pass by the disappointed. I am the shepherd who seeks the lost with eyes that never turn away. I know how the world measures people, but I prize the heart that dares to remain open even when wounded. You have felt at times that love is fleeting, conditional, depending on your successes or failures. This is not true of my love for you. Before your first breath, before your greatest mistake, my affection surrounded you. Nothing you have done can diminish the warmth I send over your life. When the accuser inside tells you that you are not enough, remember it is my voice calling you by name, not in judgment, but as an invitation to come closer. I desire relationship over performance, honesty over perfection. Bring me the hidden parts of your story, the burdens you carry, and the dreams you whisper privately, and I will hold them without shame or reproach. Sometimes the journey seems too long and the path through pain appears pointless. Still, I am walking with you, step by step. You do not need to pretend that you are strong when you feel weak. I am strength enough for both of us. In the silence of your room, in the cries that no one else hears, I bend near to comfort and restore you. Every moment you choose hope, even if your hands tremble, you rise in my sight. Each time you forgive, each time you show kindness, you reflect my heart, often more than you know. Where others might see wandering, I see the beginning of wisdom because you seek more than worldly answers. I am not afraid of your questions, your doubts, or your impatience. I am familiar with every twist and turn of your thoughts, and I am never disappointed in your longing to understand. If the ground beneath you shakes and the things you relied on give way, I remain your foundation, faithful and unshaken. Let me be your anchor when the storms of anxiety and regret threaten to pull you under. My love runs deeper, a current stronger than the waves. Do not mistake waiting for abandonment. While you wait, I am at work, weaving purpose from pain and joy from sorrow. Even if you cannot recognize the pattern yet, yield your timeline to me, for I waste nothing of your story. Even the moments that seem lost or wasted are being renewed under my hand. Joy emerges not in the absence of hardship, but in the nearness of my presence, which does not leave you for a moment. Deep in your heart, you hunger for belonging, for a place where you are accepted without needing to hide. That place is with me. Every secret part of you is already known and cherished. You do not shock me, disappoint me, or wear me out. My delight is to see you rise, day after day, to watch you keep loving others even when it comes at a cost. In your tears, I gather your sorrow as a gardener gathers dew, nourishing the seeds that will soon bear fruit in you. Even as you walk through valleys that no one else can see, I am beside you. I never require you to fix yourself before you approach me. My invitation is not reserved for the flawless, but for the honest, for those who will let me be their healer. It is my joy to restore you, to renew your courage, to supply you with peace when chaos presses in. Take a breath and remember, I am with you, not as a distant judge, but as a friend who will never forsake or betray. Your struggles, your questions, even your disappointments will not drive me away, for my love endures beyond all barriers. There is no mistake so great that it can outpace my mercy. When you reach the end of your strength, remember that I do not withdraw. In disappointment, I draw nearer. My power is revealed not by avoiding brokenness, but by redeeming and repurposing every fragment. Trust me in the delay. Rest in the assurance that nothing is wasted. I see the big picture, and I am preparing you for things beyond what you can imagine. I see your willingness to trust, even when courage feels in short supply. The offer of my presence is not a fleeting moment, but an unbreakable promise. When loneliness whispers that you are on your own, recall that I have called you chosen, beloved, and never alone. Let my truth be the loudest voice in your day, more persistent than accusation or self-doubt. I provide not only comfort, but the gift of new beginnings, of hope that persists in the most unlikely places. Your story is precious to me. Each longing, each small act of love, each silent prayer, they matter eternally. Where the world might pass over these moments, I treasure them. Know that my eyes are gentle toward your weakness and my hands are quick to lift you up. Let my compassion be the breeze that sweeps away fear, the warmth that revives your weary spirit. You are secure in the shelter of my heart, now and always. Let your heart be still now. As the storms within you begin to settle, I am drawing near. Notice that gentle pressure in the quietest places of your soul. The invitation to breathe deeper than you have in so long. It is I who beckon you, not with demands, but with a love that has waited while you tried every other path and whispered in the background when you felt most alone. Allow my tenderness to surprise you, for I know the wariness behind your determination, the disappointments that stacked up when things did not turn out as you hoped. I have seen the moments when you shut your eyes just to block out the weight of the world, feeling unsure whether you could find the strength to try again. Through all the noise, I am here, not angered by your questions or your doubts, but gently drawing you close, wishing to wash away layers of shame or regret. Let me remind you, your value has never been tied to your success or failure, nor to anyone's approval. From the very first heartbeat within you, before a single act or word was recorded, I delighted in you simply because you are mine. Nothing has diminished my affection for even a moment. Step into this freedom, that you do not need to earn love from the one who gave you breath. I watch each small kindness, each hidden act of generosity, each moment you choose compassion when no one sees. The world celebrates loud accomplishments, but I, your creator, celebrate the quiet victories within you, the grudges you let fall away, the patience you offer in a passing word, the burdens you quietly carry for others. Your faithfulness in the unseen spaces matters deeply to me. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks, from $50 to $100. When you look back over your journey so far, you may be tempted to regret seasons of wandering or time seemingly lost in confusion. Yet nothing redeems lost years the way I do. Even wanderings become roads home. Even closed doors become new beginnings. My wisdom weaves your struggles into a tapestry of unexpected beauty. Every turn, every tear, every stubborn moment of holding on when your hands felt empty, I redeem it all. There is no wasted chapter, no night I have not seen you through. Even in your darkest hours, when you felt most estranged from hope, you were only ever a whisper away from my outstretched hand. I know the longing that keeps you searching, the hunger nothing else quite satisfies. It is not selfish to want more light, more love, more meaning. I place that desire inside you so that it can only be filled by returning again and again to my side. The world will offer substitutes and distractions, fleeting thrills that leave emptiness in their wake. My joy, though, is deep and enduring, a well that never dries up, a light that grows brighter the longer you linger in its warmth. Lay aside the fear that you are too much or not enough. You are not disqualified by broken dreams or tangled motives. Keep bringing yourself to me as you are, unfinished, unsure, sometimes trembling. I hold all that you bring. There will be days when peace feels distant, when anxieties press harder, when old patterns threaten to pull you back. Remember, I never tire of you returning, no matter how many steps you must retrace. Your honesty draws me near. Your vulnerability delights me. Do not fear your weakness. It is the place where my strength most tenderly fills the gaps. True healing begins when you stop trying to hide hurt and lay it open before me. My hands do not recoil from pain or mess. I am gentle with all that is fragile in you. My patience is endless as you learn to trust again, to hope again, to dream without fear of disappointment. As morning follows night, so too I bring newness after every season of loss. Do not judge the harvest while the seed is still in the earth. There are roots deepening where you cannot see. The changes you long for may seem slow, but I never rush your becoming. I am more concerned with your heart than your pace. Rest in knowing that you grow most steadily when you are near me, drawing life straight from the source. Fruit will come in its season. For now, celebrate your small steps. Rejoice in awakening desires. Give thanks for the strength to keep saying yes. You are made for belonging, not living hidden or alone. Let your heart open again, even if it quivers with uncertainty. Trust that the love I pour into you is not just for you alone. It is meant to overflow, to touch those around you in ways you may never fully see. When you feel insignificant or overlooked, know that your presence carries my light. Your words, your listening, your kindness, all of it matters. No kindness is wasted. Every act of love leaves a mark upon eternity. If you feel empty, know I am willing to fill you. If you feel lost, know I am already searching for you, eager to lead you home. My arms are never closed. My gaze never turns away. Stay with me here in whatever way you know how. In silence, in tears, in trembling hope, there is no posture that earns favor, no performance to enact. I simply desire your nearness as you are, for this very moment. And if someone comes to mind who needs to hear this same hope, share these words with them. Let my comfort move through you to another heart. Can you sense my gentle urging to release what burdens you? Trust me with the worries that wake you at night, the fears that shrink your world. I care about each longing, each ache, each dream deferred. Nothing is too small for my attention, nor too great for my strength. Lay it all at my feet. I am capable not just of carrying what you cannot, but of transforming heaviness into hope. My ways are not always what you expect, and sometimes you may wonder why the answers seem slow. Know that every delay is filled with my presence, my careful shaping of circumstances in your heart, always for your good. Often you look outside yourself, hoping for circumstances to change before you find peace. Yet let me plant this truth within you. Peace begins within, birthed by my spirit. No matter what is unfolding around you, let my calm seep into fears, my assurance steady your wavering. I am not absent in chaos. In the center of every storm, my hand holds you fast. Trust grows in these places where control is surrendered and you cling instead to my promise. I am for you. I am with you. I will never leave. You are seen. You are cherished. You are never forgotten. Even now, as you read these words, my attention is fixed on you with a love undiminished by time or failure. Draw near. Rest. Find courage again in the simplicity of belonging to me. Even as you walk forward, I see how your spirit sometimes trembles with questions, you dare not voice. You wonder if your journey is truly unfolding according to my purpose, or if too many wrong turns have taken you far beyond my reach. Let me draw you close and settle your heart. No misstep, no detour, no broken place excludes you from my boundless love. All paths, even those paved with pain and confusion, are known to me. For I have walked them ahead of you and made provision even in what you call wastelands. I do not stand at a single finish line, judging how straight your route has been. I am the companion on every mile, transforming your tears into seeds of a deeper harvest. Each moment of surrender, each cry for help becomes an opening for my mercy to reach places logic cannot touch. At times you feel unworthy, weighed down by memories, regrets, or the edges of your character that seem so slow to change. My beloved, listen closely. I do not measure you with the scales of the world. My sight goes beyond behavior to the deepest recess of your heart. I know where shame clings, where accusations echo, where disappointment has made a home. Even there, I come not to condemn, but to heal and restore. My compassion is an endless well. When you judge yourself harshly and imagine me as distant or displeased, remember I have already chosen you. My love is not the reward for victory, but the source of your strength in every trial. You may fear that your questions or doubts disqualify you from closeness with me. Understand that faith is not the absence of uncertainty. It is a bold willingness to reach for me even when clarity fades. Picture a child learning to walk, falling, yet reaching up. I am not frustrated by your falls. I treasure your reaching, your searching, your desire. Each question asked with an open heart is an invitation for me to reveal more of myself, to guide, steady, and answer. Sometimes with words, sometimes with silence that draws you deeper into trust. You are not less loved when you are uncertain. My arms remain open, always ready to hold you through the shadows and into the light. I am your constant companion in the quiet places where no one else sees. When you awake in the night and your soul wrestles with uncertainty. When the decisions before you seem overwhelming and each path carries risks you hesitate to face, settle into the peace of knowing that nothing surprises me. I am not perplexed or impatient. I gently whisper wisdom, sometimes directing your feet in ways you may not fully understand, sometimes providing simply the courage to take the next step. As you move forward, trust that I am weaving together both seen and unseen threads into a tapestry far more beautiful than your current view can reveal. Sometimes the world will urge you to hurry, to produce, to measure your worth by constant progress. I invite you to rest in my rhythm instead. My timing is perfect, even when it feels delayed. Do not despise the seasons that look dormant or slow, for roots grow deep in quiet soil, and the most radiant blooms are formed in hidden places. I am never late. I am never inattentive. Even when you feel stuck or unseen, I am shaping you, tending your heart, pruning what must fall away so that new fruit can emerge in its time. Let go of comparison and the pressure to prove your value. Rest in the knowledge that being loved by me is your truest identity and most secure foundation. You will find that forgiveness flows with greatest ease when you first receive it from me. Let my grace wash over the places inside where anger or resentment has become a familiar refuge. I understand the pain that others have caused you, the betrayals, the harsh words, the disappointments that seem to linger long after the moment has passed. These experiences can harden your heart, closing it to the flow of fresh joy. I invite you to release those burdens into my hands. Forgiveness is not forgetting or excusing harm. It is the freedom born when you trust me to be both your defender and your healer. Let my compassion fill up what has been emptied by pain. In forgiving, you will discover a new capacity for hope, for laughter, for loving others from a place of true freedom. There are gifts and dreams planted deep within you that may have grown dormant or been dismissed as impossible. I remember every longing, every secret hope, every spark of purpose I have placed within you. I am not finished with your story. Even now, as you dwell in the everyday motions of life, I am nurturing the seeds of yesterday's dreams and preparing fresh vision for your tomorrow. Do not give in to the voice of despair or resignation. While you have breath, possibility remains. I call forth what lies dormant. Trust me to resurrect dead hopes, to open doors you thought were sealed shut, to breathe new life into your passions and gifts. The world needs the unique light I have placed within you. When you feel pressed on every side by challenges, remember, I have given you resilience beyond what you imagine. Your strength is not measured by how little you struggle, but by how consistently you return to me again and again in weakness and in hope. I see every silent act of faithfulness, every gesture of kindness, every tear you have shed out of love for another. None of it is wasted. Even when you see no immediate reward, know that these offerings are precious to me. I am shaping you into one who reflects my heart, not in perfection, but in sincere devotion. Each day, each small surrender is honored and transformed by my love. Let your heart be softened to receive, not only to give. Many times you offer compassion to others and yet resist my gentle care yourself. Allow me to minister to the forgotten places inside you. As you yield, my healing will flow, restoring, renewing, anchoring you in the safety of my embrace. From that place of fullness, you will overflow with tenderness and courage for others. Wherever you go, my presence goes with you, confirming my love, not just as a promise, but as a living reality in your daily walk. Entrust your journey to me. I am faithful to complete every good work I have begun in you. You may wonder at times why some prayers seem to linger unanswered, or why darkness can creep upon the edges of your hope. Let me tell you, in these moments, I am closer to your breath than you understand. I am not silent out of neglect or indifference, but out of the wisdom that forges depth in your trust. My timing and knowledge, infinite and intricately tender, are crafting blessings you cannot yet perceive. The waiting is never wasted. It is the soil where roots grow strong and faith finds the courage to flourish beyond sight. Sometimes you ask for the light to break through immediately, and I see the earnestness in your heart. But every delay is filled with my presence, preparing things in unseen realms, weaving answers formed perfectly for your journey. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Trust these hidden workings. For what you call silence is often the music of my orchestration. In the small, secret places of your heart, doubts may stir and questions may ripple the surface. Bring them to me, unashamed and unfiltered. Let every anxiety, longing, and ache rise up. I do not turn away from the honest cries of your soul. I gather each one, responding in ways that reach beyond comfort, offering transformation. Nothing you speak, not even in whispered confusion, is met with rejection. my love meets you in the cracks and crevices, inviting you to uncover what you have buried or hidden away. Trusting me means releasing the illusion that you must present only your finest self. I see you in your entirety, rejoicing not just in your triumphs, but in your very real struggle. At times, your journey will lead you through shadows, valleys of disappointment, uncertainty, or loss. In these places, my voice does not falter. I go before you, beside you, and within you, giving you resilience, not your own. You may find me in the gentle encouragement of a friend, the sudden stillness of early dawn, or a truth that unexpectedly pierces through your weariness. I am endlessly creative in loving you, finding ways to speak the words you need in the language your spirit most deeply understands. As you walk in the world, you encounter voices that demand you prove your worth through achievement, beauty, or the praise of others. I call you to anchor your identity not in these shifting shadows, but in the certainty of my affection for you. You are my beloved, chosen before the foundations of the world, crafted intentionally. Nothing you can gain nor lose in the eyes of people will change the place you hold in my heart. Comparison is a thief that cannot rob you unless you hand it the keys. Instead, gaze upon me and remember whose you are, and let comparison slip quietly from your grasp. In moments when your strength seems spent and hope feels threadbare, do not accuse yourself for being weary. Even when you stumble beneath the weight of expectation, yours or others, I do not despise you. I draw you into grace, reminding you that my yoke is easy and my burden is light. In your weakness, I supply all that you need. In your lack, I am abundance. The world shouts for constant hustle and relentless productivity, but my kingdom moves at the pace of trust. Come to me just as you are, not as you wish you could be, and I will restore your soul. Draw near, especially when you feel the least worthy of it. My embrace is not earned by your perfection or withheld by your mistakes. There is no scorecard here. Instead, I delight in your presence, receiving each moment you turn toward me with joy. Guilt and shame melt away under the warmth of my nearness. The mistakes of your past and the worries of your future are swallowed up in my mercy, which is new every morning. Do not try to repay grace like a debt. It is my gift and my invitation. Rest in it, and you will discover depths of peace you have not yet known. Let me remind you that each life, yours included, is woven with purpose. You are not an accident of time or chance, but a cherished part of my unfolding dream for creation. Every strength and every limitation has a place in the story I am writing with you. If you have believed the lie that your existence is small or unseen, let my truth become your anchor. You are noticed, valued, and loved beyond measure. Even in the mundane routines and forgotten corners of your day, I am attending to you, drawing beauty from the simplest acts done in love. There are times you may fear the future, uncertain about what lies ahead. Yet I am already there, holding the days that are coming with the same care that brought you this far. My plans are not derailed by failures or rerouted by your fears. Nothing surprises me or thwarts my intentions for you. Every detour, every heartbreak becomes the ground from which I bring new growth. I am the master of redemption, able to turn even what was meant for harm into good for those who trust me. So breathe deeply and rest secure. Hope is not an empty longing, but a quiet assurance rooted in my faithfulness. You are invited to live from this reality, not hurried by yesterday's regrets or tormented by tomorrow's unknowns. Each day, Let your first thought be, I am known by God and loved beyond comprehension. Lay down what burdens you and take up the gentle strength of my presence. When you are unsure, ask for my wisdom. When your resolve falters, let my persistence carry you. I do not tire or grow weary, and I rejoice in guiding you step by step. Keep your heart supple, open even to surprises you would not have chosen. Sometimes the greatest gifts are hidden in the very places you resist or fear. Trust me enough to let go of outcomes you cannot control and ambitions that leave you restless. When you surrender your own understanding, I give you peace beyond reason. As you walk forward, the path will illuminate before you, step by step. You only need to trust enough for today, and I will supply tomorrow when it comes. My love is not just a doctrine or idea, but a living, transforming force. Let it infiltrate the patterns of your thought and the habits of your living. Let it soften what has grown hard and brighten what has become dim. I am always working in you and through you, accomplishing far more than you can ask or imagine. Let my love inspire you to greater compassion, kindness, and hope, both toward yourself and others. You are an ambassador of my heart wherever you go, even when you feel unworthy. Right now, decide on one small, concrete way you will show my love today. A message, a smile, a prayer for someone, and commit it to me in your heart. As you let my words settle deeper within you, remember that I see your longing for reassurance and your unspoken fears. In moments when you feel you have given much and received little, do not measure worth by the world's scales. My way is often quiet, sprouting first in hidden places. Picture a seed before its green blade finds sunlight. So much courage is required just to break the surface. So it is with your soul. Every act of faith, each small kindness, all patient endurance waters the soil within you. Do not despise these beginnings or compare your process to that of others. I tend every heart individually, knowing the unique needs and strengths I have placed in you. Let me remind you, the growth you seek is not always visible, but I, the gardener, am never far from the garden bed. When doubt whispers that you are forgotten, silence it by remembering how I form beauty from formlessness and how I speak order over chaos. You are not overlooked. Every detail of your life is known by me. The rising of your hope, the gentle dimming of your strength, the prayers spoken aloud, and those barely breathed. Bring your honesty to me. I do not require perfected words or rehearsed prayers. I desire your nearness and trust. When you are tired, let yourself rest in my care. It is not weakness to lean on me. It is an expression of wisdom and connection. When you rest in my presence, your soul finds renewal and a new perspective breaks through. There will be times when the way ahead seems uncertain and the answers you crave seem just out of reach. In these times, I invite you to draw close, not to strive for solutions, but simply to sit and allow my presence to envelop you. Often, clarity comes not from frantic searching, but from surrendered stillness. Like a mountain lake reflecting the sky, your heart becomes clear when still before me. I promise that you are never alone in the waiting. I stand with you shoulder to shoulder, letting my peace flow into your unsettled places. You may be tempted to believe that the struggles you face, those internal battles, the waves of anxiety, the persistent shame, somehow separate you from me. But nothing can divide you from my love. The weight you carry is not too heavy for me. I lift burdens in ways you do not expect. Sometimes deliverance feels sudden, like a captive set free. Other times it unfolds slowly, teaching you to rely on my strength each day. Either way, I am your deliverer and your steadfast support. In your relationships, disappointment is inevitable, for people falter and wounds are given and received. But I urge you to look with my eyes, to forgive as you have been forgiven, and to remember that every person you encounter is also growing, struggling, and learning. Where bitterness wants to root itself, choose to plant kindness instead. When you extend grace, you are living as my child, mirroring my own heart. Let me heal what feels impossible to forgive. Allow my compassion to soothe old hurts and restore broken trust, both in you and in others. When you lift your eyes to the future and see only fog, take comfort in knowing that I am already there. I do not ask you to map every step, only to walk with me one moment, one choice at a time. My spirit goes ahead of you, making a way where you see none. What looks like a dead end is often the threshold of something new, a doorway only I can open. Stand ready, not with anxiety, but with hope expectant, knowing that I never waste a season of your life. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. If you worry about missing your purpose or falling short of some destiny, release that anxiety to me. Your value is not measured by milestones reached or worldly impact. It is rooted in who you are as my beloved creation. Each day you choose me, each time you offer love, each act of faithful obedience, you are living in your purpose. Often your impact is greater than you realize, blooming where you cannot see, touching lives beyond your immediate vision. When faith feels fragile and your spirit is weary, bring your fragments to me. I do not despise your weakness. In fact, my strength shines brightest when you recognize your need for me. I am not surprised by your struggles, nor am I disappointed by your questions. Bring your whole self, your doubts, your frustrations, your unfulfilled dreams. I will meet you there, in honesty and vulnerability, and I will hold you together. What you view as a breaking point may actually be your breakthrough, a sacred opening for my love to rush in. Let hope take root again. Trust that the story I am weaving with your life is rich and meaningful, filled with purpose. Resist the urge to measure your days by what is lacking. Instead, look for my fingerprints in the everyday. I still speak through kindness given and received, in laughter shared, in silent moments of awe. Open your heart to see me in the ordinary and marvel at how I fill emptiness with abundance. As you continue your journey, remember that my love is a well that does not run dry. Return often for replenishment. It is my pleasure to give freely to you all wisdom, comfort, courage, and strength for the road ahead. When the way is smooth, rejoice with me. When it is rough, take my hand and let me steady you. Your journey matters to me, all of it. The peaks, the valleys, the pauses, and the accelerations. As you trust me with your story, you invite me to fill every page with meaning, healing, and hope that will never disappoint. Let your heart remain anchored, not in what you fear might happen, but in the assurance of my nearness. Let love guide your actions, hope color your thoughts, and gratitude fill your speech. In this you will find joy that endures and peace that passes all understanding, because I am the faithful one who calls you my own. The journey continues, and I remain with you, closer than breath, stronger than doubt, more loving than you can imagine. There are times when you feel as if your voice disappears in the vast silence, as though your prayers fall soundless into the shadows of your room, Yet even your smallest sigh is gathered by me, treasured as a pearl hidden within the depths of my love for you. When you doubt that your heart has been heard, remember that I search beneath every surface, attentive to the places you cannot even name. I am not a distant listener who demands eloquence or perfection. I long for your honest words, your unfiltered longing, the raw ache beneath your needs. When you pour out your soul in confusion or frustration, I do not recoil from your questions or impatience. I draw closer still, cherishing your willingness to come before me exactly as you are, maskless and true. Your openness is a melody to me, more beautiful than any scripted anthem. Receive this truth: your struggles do not burden me. Your wounds do not deter me. I collect every tear. I bear every pain alongside you, and I turn none of it aside as too small or insignificant. I am always present, hearing, seeing, and caring with more warmth than the sun's embrace. Where you hope for answers, I give presence. Where you plead for a sign, I offer steadiness. My wisdom does not always uproot your difficulties, but it weaves purpose through every challenging circumstance, even when meaning remains unseen. Trusting me when outcomes are uncertain is not a betrayal of your common sense. It is a courageous act of surrender that opens your heart wider to my transforming touch. I see the tension stretched within you, the exhaustion of trying to control what cannot be controlled. Lay that burden at my feet. The world tells you to find certainty in plans and guarantees, but my certainty is rooted in an eternal faithfulness that has never faltered. I have carried generations before you through chaos, grief, and uncertainty, and I hold your future with the same unwavering hands. What you cannot predict, I have already prepared for. The road ahead may wind through valleys and over unfamiliar mountains, but in every step, I am the unfailing guide, walking alongside you. Never behind, never ahead, but always with you. As you fix your eyes on what you lack, I invite you to look again at what I provide daily: the gentle mercies, the unexpected encouragement, the strength that surfaces just when you reach your limit. These are not accidents, but expressions of my intimate provision. Celebrate these subtle miracles, for in them I knit together a tapestry of hope that will one day make the pattern clear. Do not despise small beginnings or tiny acts of faith, for in the unseen places my greatest work often begins. What seems like meagerness is the seed of abundance when touched by my power. Your little, given with trust, multiplies beyond expectation. Within you is an immeasurable potential planted by my spirit. There is a dream, a calling, a song unique to your soul. The world may overlook it, or your own doubts may diminish its value, but I see it clearly. I am fanning it into flame, nurturing its growth with every gentle nudge, each providential encounter, taught in every whisper of encouragement that lands in your heart. Do not compare your journey to the journeys of others, for I do not measure worth by applause or achievement. I delight in your progress, no matter how slow it may feel to you. My timing weaves together the moments and seasons into a masterpiece, each thread chosen with purpose. If disappointment or impatience tempts you to quit, remember that the harvest comes not overnight, but through persistent faith and steady devotion. I see your faithfulness in the tedious, hidden tasks when no one else is watching. These acts shine brighter to me than the most public display. Your willingness to serve in quietness, to show kindness without expectation of return, these are the treasures that I hold close. When fear or shame tries to drag you back into silence, I urge you to step forward again. You are not disqualified by your past, nor defined by your stumbles. Every time you choose to trust me over your mistakes, you rise into the light of your true identity. Beloved, redeemed, called. My forgiveness is not rationed out in small portions. It flows freely and fully, washing you clean so that you can walk unburdened. Let this freedom shape how you see yourself. No label set by others or even by your own mistakes can rival the truth I've spoken over you. Walk boldly in that identity, loving others from the overflow of the love you have received. I do not ask you to walk blamelessly in your strength. I offer my strength, perfected in your weakness. Yield to me those places where you feel most feeble or incapable. There my grace will rise and cover what you cannot complete. You do not need to manufacture perfection for me. What I desire is your yielded heart, your willingness to take one more step, to offer one more prayer, to hope once more in the face of disappointment. I meet you not only at your best, but especially at your most broken, and I bring beauty from the ashes of your defeat. As you journey onward, let your heart grow tender toward those beside you. I have set you in a tapestry of relationships where your compassion becomes a conduit of my love. The way you listen, forgive, and encourage is a reflection of my heart to a weary world. Do not underestimate the power of a gentle word, a patient silence, or an act of quiet service. Whatever you do for another in love, you do for me. In these moments, heaven brushes earth, and my kingdom is felt, sometimes in ways you do not notice, but which I see and delight in. Lift your eyes from the weariness that threatens to consume you, and rest in the certainty that I am forming a greater story in the background of every ordinary day. Faith is not the absence of doubt or struggle. It is the persistent choice to trust my goodness when the outcome is unseen. You are not alone in your wrestling. I am closer than your breath, upholding you with arms that never tire. Let your soul breathe deeply of my peace. No anxiety or fear is too tangled for me to unravel. In the quiet, I am working, shaping, redeeming every corner of your circumstance. My promises never fail. They find fulfillment in my perfect time. Hold fast to this truth and let trust rise again in your heart like the sun after a long night. In the quiet moments when all else fades, I draw near to listen for the beat of your heart. I see the questions that swirl within you, the moments you wonder if your efforts are enough or if your journey holds meaning beyond the immediate. Let me ease those silent doubts with my assurance. Your path has been marked by my loving hand from the very beginning. Every detour, every struggle you have faced, I have woven into a tapestry richer than you can imagine. There is an artistry in your becoming that only I can truly see. The gentle work of transformation within you, layer by layer, deeper with every surrender. When you look out and see only the heights you have yet to reach, I invite you to turn and behold the valleys I have already carried you through. There, my faithfulness shines brightest, and your trust in me grows roots that no storm can uproot. I speak life over places you have called barren in yourself, restoring what felt lost and awakening dreams you thought had withered. The work I am doing goes beyond the surface. Where others might see only weakness or unfinished potential, I see the seeds of greatness watered by your willingness to keep going even when you do not feel strong. You are never hidden in your struggle. My attention is not divided, nor do I grow weary of walking beside you. I take joy in seeing you learn, even through mistakes and missteps. My grace is your steady companion, calling you to rise again and discover the beauty that comes from resilience and dependence on me. Recall the moments when you have been misunderstood or overlooked by others. In those places of quiet pain, I was your witness and comforter. I carried the weight of disappointment with you and invited you closer, not to judge, but to heal and affirm the value I placed in you before the world called you by any other name. There is a deeper belonging offered here in my presence, one that cannot be shaken by shifting opinions or fleeting achievements. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks, from $50 to $100. I know your story in its fullness, the chapters yet unwritten, and I am leading you into environments where you will not have to prove your worth, because here your worth is already established by my love. Rest in this truth. Your limitations are not obstacles for me, but invitations. Invitations for my strength to shine through you, for my creativity to spark newness in unexpected places. Do not despise what you cannot do on your own, for it is often through your gaps that I pour the richest blessings. In surrendering the illusion of control, you make way for miracles born of trust. Watch how I multiply even your smallest offering, how I breathe vision into places you thought were closed off forever. Let your inadequacies become opportunities for encounter, where you witness firsthand my sufficiency working in and through your life. The world may clamor for certainty and constant proof, but I ask you to embrace the mystery of our journey together. My ways are higher and my timing perfect, even when it contradicts what you might wish or anticipate. It is not wasted time that you spend waiting on me, but time invested in learning to discern my voice above all others. The muscles of faith grow strongest not in the absence of questions, but in the persistent return to me while those questions are still unanswered. Your willingness to walk with me, even in uncertainty, is a testament to your love and trust. Let hope be the anchor that steadies you when circumstances feel uncertain. I am working in the waiting, preparing gifts that exceed what you have asked for, because I delight in surprising my children with my generosity. As you have risked opening your heart, you have made room for me to gently mend the tears, those wounds that linger even when time has passed. My healing does not come only as a bandage, but as a renewal from the inside out. I touch the root of shame, of fear, of regret, and I speak restoration into the spaces that felt forever marked by brokenness. In me, every scar becomes a testimony not to your pain, but to my power to redeem. Your story is not diminished by its trials, but made radiant as I reflect my glory through you. Open your heart to forgiveness of yourself, of others, and of the stories you wish had unfolded differently. Holding on to bitterness will only weigh you down. I call you into freedom where resentment cannot take root. As I have forgiven you lavishly and without reservation, I encourage you to extend the same release to those who have wronged you. It is not a denial of the hurt, but a declaration that my love has the last word. When you struggle to let go, remember that I offer to carry the burden with you. My mercy is deeper than you think, and my ability to restore relationships, inner peace, and hope after disappointment is unparalleled. Let me remind you how I view your acts of kindness that went uncelebrated and your sacrifices that cost you quietly. Not one of them was overlooked by me. I have seen your quiet loyalty, your willingness to choose compassion over convenience, time and again. Each simple act, done out of love, ripples further than you imagine, carrying my presence into places you will not see with your eyes, but will one day know with your heart. My reward is shaped not by human standards, but by the unseen impact of your faithfulness. Continue choosing love in the little things, allowing it to transform ordinary moments into holy ground. Do not let the voices of accusation define your narrative. There is therefore no condemnation for those tucked into my embrace. When the past tries to dictate your identity or rehearses your failures, listen instead for the whisper of my spirit telling you who you truly are. Beloved, chosen, upheld. Each day is a fresh page, not stained by what has been, but primed for my new mercies. Your worth is not a negotiation or a contest, but a settled fact rooted in my unchanging affection for you. Rest in that security and let it empower you to walk forward with unshakable confidence in your journey. Remember that the dreams I plant in your heart may take time to bloom, but they are not forgotten. Trust the process of growth, even when it seems slow or hidden from view. I am tending to every detail, nurturing you in every season. Your faithfulness today is preparing the ground for a harvest of joy tomorrow. Keep your eyes open for small signs of progress. Celebrate them. I rejoice over every step you take with me, and there is not a single moment wasted in my presence. I am for you yesterday, today, and always. I see you here, sensing the gentle cadence of my truth as it wraps around your heart in this moment. Your life, with all its woven joys and sorrows, has been known to me from the beginning, each day unfolding as a story I lovingly author. Your presence now, attentive and waiting, reveals a heart open to my voice, a soul willing to be transformed by the whisper of my spirit. Even as shadows of uncertainty sometimes flicker across your mind, questions unanswered, longings unmet, grief or guilt lingering like morning mist, I remind you that I do not withdraw my gaze, nor do I ever tire of drawing you near. You are exactly where you should be, for I have brought you to this place of encounter where my words shape, restore, and illuminate. Your vulnerability is not a flaw but a door. Your need is not a weakness, but an invitation. I cherish every trembling hope within you, knowing how deeply you desire to belong, to matter, to be made whole. There is no season, no storm, no seeming silence that can diminish the intensity of my love for you or the power of my goodness working on your behalf. Permit yourself to believe that nothing in your past or present is too broken for my touch. When you doubt your worth or question your purpose under pressing burdens, remember that I crafted you in wonder and my eyes have never wavered from you. In this place, shame yields to compassion. Confusion is exchanged for clarity, and despair gives way to the relentless dawn of my hope. Each moment of surrender, even if small, moves you more fully into the wide embrace I offer, a place of abiding rest for your soul. I did not call you to bear the heaviness alone. Bring me your disappointments and your dreams alike. Lay them before me, trusting that I sift every longing through my wisdom, redeeming what hurts and cultivating the seeds of new beginnings within you. My promises are not fragile. They are forged in the fires of my faithfulness, unbreakable through all generations. I know you by name, even when you forget who it is that stands beside you. Lean in now, without reservation or fear. The world spins on with its urgent demands, but you are free in my presence to simply be. Here, you are not measured by performance or perfection, but by the simple willingness to cry out to me, sometimes with words, sometimes only with silence tasting of tears. I listen, attentive to each heartbeat, and respond with a love that mends, corrects, and restores. I have never mistaken your struggles for your identity, nor do I measure your future by the scale of your present moment. Within you, I see the likeness of my own heart, the capacity to forgive, to grow, to choose kindness and courage. Do not shrink back from the greater story I am unfolding within your ordinary days. Dare to hope for what you cannot yet see, and to trust the purposes I work in hidden places. Seek me as you are, not as you wish you were. My delight is in real relationship, shaped not by your strength but by my mercy. In the midst of every trial, I stand ready to anchor you. When confusion arises and you wonder if you have missed the path, remember that I am both your guide and your destination. Even wandering has meaning in my hands as I lead you through valleys and over peaks, ever attuned to the rhythm of your journey. Beware the temptation to think you are forgotten when life seems silent. My love does not shift with the winds of circumstance. I labor constantly to bring forth good, even from the wounds or regrets you wish had never been. Come to me in your honesty without rehearsed words or masks. Let me tend to what aches, heal what is raw, and teach your heart again the music of joy. You may not see the harvest yet, but every seed entrusted to my keeping finds its place and season. Abide in hope, for I have made a way where there once was only wilderness. Rest, too, from striving against winds of comparison. I celebrate the person you are becoming, shaped by seasons of laughter and tears alike. My favor is not earned by your own effort, but poured out as a gift, ever available, never rationed. I invite you to release the burdens you carry that belong only in my hands. Forgive where you must, not because you have forgotten pain, but because my grace makes new beginnings possible, even in places marked by endings. Allow me to untangle your fears from your sense of self, to brush away lies that have clung to your spirit like heavy garments. My truth is freedom, and those who dwell in it cannot be chained by the voices of doubt. There is nothing you confess to me that shakes my affection. When you bring me your failures, I offer compassion and a pathway forward rather than condemnation. Each time you stumble, I call you to rise again, not by your grit, but by the gentle strength of my spirit working within you. Move forward, not in the anxious rush of self-proving, but with the deliberate trust of one who knows they are accompanied at every turn. I have compassion for your weaknesses and take joy in your strengths. Both are held within the endless circle of my acceptance. Return as often as needed to the deep wells of my grace, drawing life again and again from my words and my presence. Even now, as you listen, let me remind you that your story is entwined with eternity. What you do with these days, these choices and conversations, ripples outward far beyond what you can measure. I urge you not to underestimate the influence of your kindness, the significance of your prayers, or the ways in which your hope testifies to those searching for light in shadowed places. You are never alone, never forsaken. I walk with you through both the mundane and the magnificent, finding delight in every gesture of faith that moves you, however small. The tapestry I am weaving with your life carries colors of redemption, joy, and victory. Even in moments when the threads appear tangled, listen closely as I invite you now to step into each new day with a boldness made possible by my presence. Discard the scripts of fear and inadequacy. Let them fall away like old leaves, making space for the unfurling of resilience and wonder. Watch for my fingerprints in the ordinary, in laughter shared, burdens eased, truth spoken, tears caught. Do not despise what seems small or unfinished in your life, for I am the God who multiplies loaves and fishes, transforming little into abundance. Trust that your life, offered daily to me, becomes a beacon of hope, rippling quietly outward, illuminating places beyond your knowing. When this message ends, don't rush away. Take 30 seconds in silence, breathe deeply, and tell me honestly what is on your heart right now. That simple response is your yes to all I've spoken. I am with you now and always, faithful through all that unfolds. Whatever rivers you cross or fires you face, my love is the current that carries and the shelter that shields. Step confidently in the knowledge that nothing can separate you from the affection I have for you. Not height, nor depth, nor any created thing. My promise endures beyond your weakness, beyond your doubt. So arise, cherished one, and let your life be lived in the radiant freedom of my nearness. Hope extravagantly, love relentlessly, forgive generously, and walk boldly in the purpose I have set before you. I am here, and I will never leave you. Amen. Now go forth and shine my light into every corner of your world. Be fearless, for I am with you. Amen.